Yet another story to cheer up your day. What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim with another ride sharing video. Check this brother out. D. Anthony Tony West. He is the top lawyer for Uber currently. Saw his pay increase by 40% last year. His pay increased by 40% from 2021 to 2022. But the reason I'm bringing this story to you is I want you to hear some of the shit that this guy is getting credit for and the reason why they are giving him a pay increase. But we'll start out with the damn numbers. First of all, his pay went up to $10.6 million in 2022 from $7.4 million in 2021. But here is the actual breakdown. And this is where the shady shit starts to come in. $800,000 in base salary. Now, if his pay is 10.6 mil, why is he only getting a base salary of 800,000? Because that's the way they do it to save on taxes. A lot of the other ways he make money are taxed differently, more advantageous to this multi-millionaire. Nevertheless, 800,000 in base fare, 2.3 million in a non-equity incentive plan cash compensation. I don't even know what the hell that is, but it sounds just as difficult to understand as the algorithms that we drive under for Uber and Lyft. And last but not least, 7.5 million in stock awards. Now, we talked about this yesterday on a video in regards to Dara Khosrowshahi, the actual CEO of Uber, also receiving a very low base salary. I think he receives $1 million in a base salary, yet his overall salary is like $20 or $30 million or something ridiculous. I believe it's even more than that, but the base is only $1 million. This is why people complain about capitalism, folks. This is why folks talk about all of this. They should pay their fair share of bullshit in politics. That you could have a guy walking around earning $45 million and being taxed differently on only $1 million of it, and the rest of the money is getting taxed at a different rate. How would you like for your salary to be like that? Where 2% of it is taxed at a high rate and you can call the remaining of it something else so you get taxed lower. This is why folks are complaining and bitching about capitalism. It's because it is not set up fairly for people at the bottom. You go out and get a day job. You can't divide your damn salary up like that to protect yourself against taxes. But yet a guy making enough money to take care of generations can do that. That is why you hear the complaint. Nevertheless, here's the duties that this gentleman achieved as to why they are suggesting he has earned this money. He was credited by reducing legal and regulatory payouts by a whopping 47%. Now, if he's reducing legal and regulatory payouts by 47%, you already know what that means. Regulatory payouts, things like you owe this city a fine for fucking over its drivers. And he was somehow able to negotiate behind the scenes and cut that, or maybe eliminate that fine. Doing this all over the country in different markets. Just like, you know, when we had Prop 22 in California, or when New York lost their bid to get a raise in December of last year. All of that type of stuff, guys like this get bonuses and raises for, because they're saving the company a fortune at the expense of you and I. Reducing legal and regulatory payouts by 47%. Just think about how many markets got screwed over for that to happen. Now, keep in mind, it cannot happen without him buying off politicians as well. Donate some money to somebody's campaign, and all of a sudden, they are no longer interested in holding Uber accountable. That's how this shit happens, folks. Once again, this is why people keep bitching about capitalism, because it's not set up fairly for the people at the bottom. Even if you play by the damn rules, how can you compete with somebody who's buying off the damn rule makers? That's what's taking place. In addition, to reducing regulatory payouts, he also is credited with helping the company crack down on $100 million of platform fraud. Now, on its face, this sounds like a good thing. I've done videos of drivers being ripped off by people calling and posing as Uber personnel support, getting folks to transfer their entire password and profile to scheming scammers and taking the money they've earned. So it sounds good on its face that you help reduce platform fraud by $100 million. But there's more to this shit. You know, yours truly, I always advise drivers to try to make a side deal if you can, because Uber and Lyft take so much damn money out of the trips. If you're taking someone on a trip, there's a chance Uber could be taking as much as 80% of the fare and keeping it. So if you can make a side deal, you can save the passenger a hell of a lot of money and make a profit in the process. Obviously, it cuts Uber out of the picture. That's considered platform fraud to Uber. I totally understand it. Nevertheless, this would not be happening from a driver's perspective if they weren't ripping us off so damn much. I bet you, I'd be willing to bet you didn't have drivers trying to make big ass side deals constantly when they were paying us $2.20 a mile in my market. But now that it's down to 72 cents, folks are getting desperate. Drivers are getting thirsty. So they try to find a way to get around the high amount of money Uber is taking out of the damn fares. What's the worst for my veteran drivers? Have you talked to some of your passengers in regards to what they're paying and looked at how much you earned after the trip is over? What's the worst you've seen? This is information that my new and prospective drivers that watch my videos might find interesting, because a lot of folks do not realize how much money Uber and Lyft take from the fare that the passenger is paying. Have you ever asked your passenger, how much did Uber charge you for this trip, and looked at your app? I would love to hear some of your examples. And new drivers, check out the comments. It's really bad. I've personally seen trips where the passenger in my vehicle paid $8 or $9 for the trip, and my take was barely $3. This is real shit. This happens to drivers all the time. Let me know in the comments what you have seen. Nevertheless, $100 million in what they call it, platform fraud that he stopped. A lot of that is drivers just simply trying to find a way to earn a living. Maybe using two apps at once, or maybe coming up with ways so they don't have to take bullshit trips. All of that Uber refers to as fraud. They want you to do things the exact way they set it up. They don't want you declining trips. They don't want you finding ways to navigate around surges or do anything. They want it done the way they want you to do it. That's not an independent contractor-subcontractor relationship. That's an employee-employer relationship. And that is why Uber in many countries is slowly being deemed as an employer. I got a video I want to do soon about, and it's in a different country, but one single driver won the right to get like pension, healthcare, and every damn thing from Uber because his attorney was able to present to the judge a decent case on how the company was treating him as an employee. Many of us know that. Give me some examples. I'm sure you would have no problem coming up with examples of how Uber has treated you specifically like an employee as opposed to an independent contractor. Like my last video I just did yesterday. Putting disabled passengers in a vehicle and telling the driver they have no ability to decide who they can and cannot take. Nevertheless, I wanted to point this out. This brother, D. Anthony West. I'm always happy to see brothers on the come up, but damn, not like this. Not like this. I mean, it's good to see a brother making $10 million a year, $10+ million a year. But you doing it on the backs of other folks. Shit, you might as well just grab yourself a whip and start bringing brothers over from Africa doing shit like this. This is awful. This is why people keep bitching about capitalism. Not that I don't think capitalism is the best system, but when it's done unfairly, it's not any better than communism, Marxism, fascism, or any of the other damn systems. This shit's unfair. This is unfair when you think about they're fighting against drivers in New York getting a 7% raise, or fighting in California, or fighting against drivers trying to unionize. All of the things they fight against, so that this brother can receive a 40% or 47% credit for winning those victories. Winning those victories. Last but not least, their former top lawyer at Uber, her name was Tammy Albaron. She is now working for Peloton, those exercise machines. For the rare chance that someone from Peloton is watching this particular video, understand you about to get shafted as well. This is what these people do. They come to these companies and find ways for the company, meaning themselves specifically, to make more money by screwing over the employees. This guy, Tony West, is a prime example of that. Pisses me off. But as always, it's your boy Tim. Subscribe to the damn channel. And I'll see you in the next video.
For the love.